Welcome back to Age of Unreason. So we have to talk about yesterday. President Trump authorized strikes on Yemen. What's Yemen? It's a country right below Saudi Arabia. It has a choke point from the Arabian Sea that feeds into the Red Sea, which is a route that goes all the way up past Egypt, past Saudi Arabia, all the way to the Israel area. So basically, Yemen has been in a civil war. In 2014, Iran-backed rebels took over the country. The Saudi Arabia-backed people lost control of Yemen. So, starting in 2015, Yemen started bombing Yemen and basically has killed over 150,000 Yemenis with primarily American-bought equipment with America's support, okay? So that's the backstory of that. And now Israel has had our back, or we've had their back. So now we've also basically enabled a genocide in Gaza with our military equipment and our backing, right? So Yemen and Gaza have a lot in common. The average age of the population in Yemen and in Gaza is only 18 years old. So there is a ton of kids in Gaza and in Yemen. So yesterday's attack, that America bombed the capital of Yemen, and it killed around 53 so far, is what is being reported. So we keep aiding and abetting this. So what happened? What triggered the thing, right? So we bombed Yemen yesterday. We killed 53. Today, the Houthi rebels, which are the ruling party currently of Yemen, whether you like it or not, that's the civil war, they launched a strike. They launched 18 missiles at the USS Harry Truman and accompanying warships. And they launched a drone to attack it as well. So now American service members are taking kinetic combat from Yemen because we bombed Yemen and this is where it all ties together. So basically because we negotiated a ceasefire with Hamas and Israel to stop the conflict. And that's the ceasefire you heard about. So we backed it. However, Israel has started to stop food aid. On March 2nd, they cut food aid to Gaza. And then a few days ago, they cut electricity. To Gaza in general, right? The whole place. So there's really not any electricity anyways, but the few places that electricity was used for was a desalination plant. Pretty much all the water in Gaza is undrinkable. So they're right by the sea, the Mediterranean Sea. So they're desalinating that water so people can drink water. You die real fast if you don't drink water. So that desalination plant is now running on generators because there's no power because it was cut by Israel. And 600,000 people in Gaza are relying on that water. So those generators better hold up. But what started this whole conflict yesterday with Trump bombing Yemen is that because Israel is committing war crimes by punishing all of the people of Gaza as if every single one of them are terrorists. Keep in mind, the average age is 18. So a lot of them are just kids. Because you can't live very long when you get bombed all the time, right? So what started all this is Israel has been breaking the ceasefire and starving and trying to kill Gazans, the Palestinian people, before they restart an assault on that place. And you've already heard Trump talk about America owning Gaza. So that's the backdrop. So basically the Yemen Houthi rebels stood in solidarity with the Palestinian people, the Gazan people. So they said in 5 days, if you don't restart the food aid, we're going to make a blockade of the Red Sea, which again, the choke point is by their country, literally off their beaches. So 5 days came and went, and they stopped ships from moving through that blockage point. Obviously, America doesn't like that. And even though Israel can get aid through the Mediterranean Sea, which they still have access to, the only thing Yemen could do is block that choke point for the Red Sea. So that's what started the conflict with America bombing Yemen. Yemen's now attacked us today, and American troops are taking that risk for Israel so they can continue to wipe a people off the face of the earth. As an ex-Marine, I just want you to know that this is not good. And it's not even to consider the fact that Trump ran as a anti-war, anti-establishment candidate, even though obviously that wasn't going to be the case. But he's now talked about annexing or taking over Canada, taking over Panama Canal, taking over Greenland, getting rid of the mayor of D.C., the District of Columbia, and taking over it with the federal government. He's labeled cartels terrorists, so now you would assume he's going to bomb in Mexico. So Mexico, obviously the Yemen and Iran people are the same. So he's threatened Iran recently with figure it out with a deal or get bombed, basically was his threat. Obviously, we just talked about Israel and Gaza. We know how he's been treating Ukraine, blackmailing Ukraine, and basically just eating up all the propaganda from Russia and now Yemen. It's not making our world safer. Welcome back to the Age of Unreason.